recently, Marcus, he's one of our master coaches, and we were talking layperson conversation, gen pop conversation about is hypertrophy different than strength? What is hypertrophy? What is strength? Obviously hypertrophy, building lean body mass, muscle, but then just being strong. And I know we talked obviously before this, you said you've done basically 3 hours, you said 3 hours worth of work on diving into that deeply.
Like 600 hours of work, but 3 hours of video.
Yeah, correct. Yes. 6 hours of video, 600 hours of work. Correct. Yeah. And so obviously this is coming from, you doing muscle biopsies in the lab, all sorts of different metrics that you're pulling this information from, as well as, the actual like academic work, learning on the front end to even get into all of that. So I would like to do a little bit. Obviously this will be like 5 minutes worth. So this is our own little 5-minute physiology here, which is clearly not enough time considering 600 broken down into 6 hours. So first I just want to refer people. Would it be DrAndyGalpin.com? Is that where they would find this, or YouTube?
Yeah, I don't use it much, but yeah, YouTube. Just search Andy Galpin on YouTube. It's I try to post the ones I can on Instagram, and the links, of course, are on Twitter as well. But we could do as much of those videos as you want. I don't care about protecting it to make sure viewers go there. I could do the whole damn thing right here. I don't really care.
So I would just be curious. So diving deeper than, obviously we can look at the basics of sets and reps, and kind of like the CSCS approach or whatever. But then we can also, I would like to dive deeper. Okay, let's tear this apart. What does this look like inside the muscle? What is hypertrophy? What is strength going on in there? What does that look like? How is that experience?
So let me lay a little foundation here, and then we can go. So what I globally do, I talked in the intro about the courses I teach and all that. And many years ago, I just became frustrated in the fact that, here I am teaching these classes, and, only 25 students can get in, or 40 students. And my classes just had full wait lists every semester. I teach summer extra and winter. And I was just like, this is so dumb in 2017, 2015, whatever it was, that only 25 people can get to know this. Why? It's just dumb. We're 40. It doesn't make any sense. We have this. And it also didn't make sense to me that I was teaching the same lecture over and over again. I'm like, this is not a good use of my time. You have students in the room who already know 80% of this information. So you're wasting, and you actually are, you're wasting a lot of their time. You're not particularly stimulating or interesting to them. You're helping them develop bad habits because now they're going to work on their projects during class, etc., which is distracting. It's annoying for me. The other students don't like it. And then you have these other students who are like, man, it's been all these years since I had physiology. Now I'm coming back, and this is way too fast. And I just thought, like, this is a terrible model for education. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to start filming all this stuff. I'll do 5-minute videos where I just get right to the answer, 25-minute where we get to the answer and explain why it's happening, and then do 55-minute videos where I just cover the entire. So I started doing that, and as we were sort of talking earlier, I don't have really any interest in marketing and running a business at all. So I'm like, I'm not going to try to build a business behind this stuff. I'm just going to make these damn videos and put them up there for free. And I'll just try the Patreon sort of model. And if people enjoy it, they can donate, and that's great. They can support it. But I also didn't want these things to be behind a paywall when you've got folks like my students who are like, dude, I just want to know how to eat better. And I just want to know how to exercise a little bit. And I don't want to spend 3 years taking preliminary courses, like just to figure out how do I squat better. I don't really understand how to program. Like that to me, I'm like, it's dumb. People don't have that kind of money. All right, I can't justify $1,000 for the course. So I'm like, I'm just throwing all that away. I'm just doing it for free. So anyone, anywhere in the world, if they got internet, and if you have a little bit of financial means, a couple bucks to support it on Patreon, you can. If not, I don't care. It's all free. So that's what these videos basically are. Coming down to the hypertrophy one, I've done several. There's probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 videos on hypertrophy there you can
Mm-hmm.
find. But we just learned a lot in the last 2 years, and so I thought I'm just going to do a whole series on what we've learned in the last couple of years. And me as a physiology guy, I like the muscular side of the equation, right? So I like to know specifically what part of the muscle is growing, how is it growing, why is it growing, and so I broke the video up into 3 sections, if you will. So part one is the actual physiology. So I explained to you how muscles actually work, and I guess I should have said this. My assumption with all of these videos is that you have not taken a single course in anything. Um, Having said that, I believe that if you have a PhD in the area, or you are not in the area whatsoever, both of those people can watch those videos and learn something and be not just bored out of their teeth the entire time. And I think I do a pretty good job of keeping those things very easy to follow,
Yeah.
regardless. Even though I'm talking about some pretty high level stuff, it's not particularly complicated to follow. So the first video in the series is, what we've learned about actual muscle tissue. So again, how muscles work, how they contract, how that results in human movement, how that results in muscle growth, what part of the muscles grow, why they grow that way, what you can do about it, etc. I show actual muscle biopsies. I'll show the actual what it looks like, human muscle, as we pull it out of the skin, what it looks like under the microscope, individual muscle fibers from actual world-class athletes. I show you the videos. I show you the pictures in all pretty high def. So you can see it's heavy visually based there. It explains how much you can grow and what areas and all that stuff. So from the second video then gets into what we call the mechanisms. So what are the things you can do to induce muscular growth? And I can walk back and give you actual answers on all this stuff. I kind of want to just lay out what's in the videos, and you can
Yeah.
pick and choose which ones you want to go into.
Yeah.
And then the third one is all practical application. So that one goes over, okay, how many reps do you need to hit? How many days per week? Does working out in a mirror really help? How about listening to music? Does that enhance how much you grow? Are there particular types or tempos? So should you go fast with your repetitions? Should you go slow? Does that matter? All that stuff that you would use as an actual thing. So that video is an hour, and all it does is cover what's the latest science tell us about all of these different things that you say. What about drop sets? What about pyramid sets? Is that true? All that stuff is covered in the third video. So a lot of folks just will skip to that one,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. I will mock you and shame you just a little bit for skipping all the fun physiology, but if you want just the hours and as many topics as you can think about, I cover in that last section. So that being said, we can dive into any one of the 3 areas, or I could do a little overview of kind of all of them if you'd like, whatever
Yeah, I think a quick overview and then a couple of prac app things, because like I said, 15% of our followers, subscribers, listeners, they're the coach that they want to know, part one, part two, part three. They're gonna dive into that, and
Okay.
and
So
obviously they can just jump in to your videos and get the deeper dive,
yeah.
of course. But yeah.